Gurur Brahma, Gurur Vishnu, Gurur Devo Maheshwara, Gurur Sakshat Parabrahma, Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Akhanda Mandala Akaram Vyaptam Yena Characharam Tatpadam Darshitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Hari Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Hari Om. Dhyanamoolam Gurur Murti, Pujamoolam Gurur Padam, Mantramoolam Gurur Vakyam, Mokshamoolam Gurur Kripa. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Om Sahana Bhavatu Sahanao Bhunaktu Sahaviryam Karvavahe Tejasvinavaditamastu Ma Vedvishavahai. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Hari Om. Chidarpanam. Jai Gurudev. Let's chant first chapter 8. We'll chant up to Shlok 19. Vasudeva Sutam Devam Kansa Chanuramardanam Devaki Paramanandam Krishnam Vande Jagadguru. Om Shri Paramatmane Namaha. Atha Ashtamodhyayah. Arjuna Uvacha. Kim tad brahma kim adhyatmam kim karma purushottama adhibhutam cha kim proktam adhidaivam kim uchyate adhiyagnya katham kotra dehesmin madhusudana prayana kale cha katham Nyeyosi niyatatmabhi. Shri Bhagavan Uvacha. Aksharam Brahma Paramam Svabhavodhyatmamuchyate. Bhuta Bhavodbhava Karo Visarga Karma Sangitaha. Adhibhutam Ksharo Bhava Purushashchadidaivatam Adhiyagnohamevatra Dehe Deha Vritambara Antakale Chamameva Smaran Muktva Kalevaram Ya Prayati Samadbhavam Yati Nastyatra Sanshaya. Yam yam vapi smaran bhavam tyajatyante kalevaram tam tamevaiti kaunteya sada tad bhava bhavitaha. Tasmat sarveshu kaleshu mamanusmara yudhya mayyarpita mano buddhir Mame Vaishyasya Sanshayam Abhyasa Yoga Yuktena Chetasa Nanya Paramam Purusham Divyam yati parthanuchintayan kavim purana manushasitaram anoraniyam samanusmaredya sarvasya dhataramachintya rupam aditya varnam tamasa parastat prayana kale manasachalena bhaktya yukto yoga balena chaiva Bruvor madhye pranamaveshya samyak satam param purushamupaiti divyam yadaksharam veda vido vadanti vishanti yadyatayo vitaraga yadichanto brahmacharyam charanti tatte padam sangrahena pravakshe Sarvadvarani sanyamya manoridi nirudhya cha murdhyadhayatmana pranam astito yoga dharanam omityekaksharam brahma vyaharan mamanusmaran ya prayati tyajan deham Sayati paramam gatim ananya cheta satatam yo mam smarati nityashaha tasyaham sulabha partha nityayuktasya yoginaha mamupetya punarjanma dukhalayam ashashvatam Napnuvanti mahatmana sansiddhim paramam gataha abrahma bhuvana loka punaravartinorjuna mamupetya tu kaunteya punarjanma na vidyate sahasra yuga paryantam aharyad brahmano viduhu ratrim yuga sahasrantam teho ratra vido janaha avyakta dvaktaya sarva prabhavantya haragame ratriagame praliyante tatraiva vyakta sangyake Bhutagrama sa evayam Bhutva bhutva praliyate Ratriagame vasha partha Prabhavatya haragame Om Tat Sat. Welcome everyone to the center as well as on Zoom. We are on Adhyay 8 and we have completed 14 shlokas till last time. The 8th Adhyay is focusing a little bit on the study of life after death. This study is actually called eschatology. It studies the different options that are available for life after death. Different religions will have different belief systems of what happens to the soul or what happens to the individual after death. And even within Sanatan Dharma, there are many options available. Why are there so many options available even in Sanatan Dharma itself? Because what happens to you after death depends entirely on how you have decided to live your life while you are in this human form. So, therefore, it is very important to know what those options are, what kind of life and what kind of belief system will dictate your gati. So, really, it's very important to know the correct way of living so that you die in the most optimum way. So Shloka 5 itself in the 8th Adhyay tells us one important thing, that if you leave the body and at that last moment you are thinking of Bhagwan, that Bhagwan is your last thought, then in your afterlife you will get Sharan with Bhagwan. So that is the first premise that is given to us in the 5th Shloka. Which means that, okay, I can live my life any old way, and then at the last moment I will think of Bhagwan and then I will get Sharan. It is absolutely impossible, because the last thought you will get at the time of death will be the same thought that has preoccupied your mind throughout your life. So if throughout your life you have focused on your business, or throughout your life your focus has been on your relationships or whatever it has been, at that last moment also it will be of that nature itself. So therefore, if you are interested, then you need to train your mind in such a way that the last moment will be spent in the thought of Bhagwan. So that name should come, that thought should come easily on our lips at that moment. Now, the very next shloka, number 6, Bhagwan says, it is not only about Bhagwan that you have to think, whatever you think. So he clarifies, whatever you think, that will be your state of mind at the time of death. So now from 7th shloka to the 14th shloka, Bhagwan gives us the technique of how to train the mind during our lifetime, so that at the time of death, that thought of Bhagwan becomes prominent in our mind. So we were thinking then, Arjun must have thought, and we also think so many things are to train our mind. This is a daunting task. How am I going to know that it is going to be that last thought and I have not to get any other thought? So in the 14th shloka, Bhagwan says, don't worry, it is not so difficult, it is quite easy. Okay? It's quite easy. What do you have to do? Keep your mind, keep your life devoted to Bhagwan. In whatever you are doing, let there be the presence of Bhagwan in your life. Satatam. Satatam, constantly. And Nityasha means always. Not only during puja, not only during the time you do japa, not only when you go to the temple, not only when you go to a tirtha. Satatam, Nityam. Okay. Why? Either you may want to be in the Sharan of Bhagwan after death, or you may have that belief that I want to merge with Brahma. There are two options. Whichever way you want, your belief system is taking you, you need to be aligned. You need to be aligned with Bhagwan. You need to be absorbed. You want to merge. You want Sharan. You want to be under Bhagwan, right? So therefore, you have to bring that alignment between you and Bhagwan. If you are out of alignment, you are out of sync, you are not absorbed, then how will you expect to get that Sharan, or how will you expect to merge with Bhagwan? So how do we come under the Sharan of Bhagwan? Not just after death, but we have to take that Sharan in this time itself. So how do we take Sharan? You will say, I offer so much dhan. I go to tirth. I do so much prayer. I do this, I do that. I do so many things. I give so many things. Bhagwan says, look, I'm not interested in your money. I'm not interested in your name and fame. I'm not interested in how powerful you are in sansar. I want you to surrender yourself, tan, man, vachan. Tan, body, man, mind, vachan, words. What does it mean to surrender tan, man, vachan? What does it mean to surrender body, mind and words? Whatever we are doing with a notion in our mind, I am doing with this body. I am thinking with this mind. I am speaking with this indriya. So whatever we are doing with that karta bhav. We are doing with the idea of I am doing. So till this concept of I am doing continues, the surrender does not happen. So surrender your false sense of self. Then Bhagavan says, once you give me the reins of your life, then I will drive your chariot. So till you keep the reins in your hand, I cannot drive your chariot. So you give me the reins, I will drive your chariot. So this is what this beautiful Adhyay is all about. So who are these people who have managed to give the reins of their life, and what is the reward they are getting is what we are going to study today in the 15th shlok onwards. So let's chant number 15 again, because that's where we are going to start today. Mamupetya punarjanma dukhalayam shashvatam napnuvanti mahatmana sansiddhim paramam gataha. Great souls who have attained the highest perfection, having come to me, are no more subject to transitory rebirth, which is the abode of sorrow and transient by nature. Very nice shloka, because it gives us a lot of clarity on our life. Let's take the meanings. Mahatmana, great souls. Mam upetya, having come to me. Napnuvanti, are no more subject to. Punarjanma, rebirth. Dukkhalayam, abode of sorrow. Ashashvatam, transient by nature. Gata, have attained. Paramam, highest. Samsiddhim, perfection. Meaning the great souls, after having come to me, after having surrendered to me, after having taken sharan in me, they will no more get rebirth, which is the abode of sorrow. Coming back into this life is an abode of sorrow, and also it is transient by nature. So these great souls will have attained the highest perfection. So who are these great souls who have become absorbed with Bhagavan? They are those seekers who have dedicated their life to this highest goal. What have they done? The first thing that they must have done or will have to do is they will have to purify their minds. What exactly does it mean to purify your mind? It means to eradicate all rajas and tamas from the mind. All rajas and tamas, that is malin, that is the impurity. Once they have taken out all the rajas and tamas, then their minds will be purely sattvic, pure. When the mind has become pure, or when our mind has become pure, only then we will be really able to understand what is the cause of our sorrow. Everyone is suffering in some way or the other in the world. And we are unable to come out of this suffering or this sorrow because we don't know the real cause. And if you don't know the real cause, how will you eradicate it? You may imagine all sorts of causes, and you will be trying to eradicate this and eradicate that and eradicate this person and this situation. But if they are not the cause of your sorrow, then your sorrow can never be eradicated. So these Mahatmans have understood the cause, the real cause of human suffering. And what do you think that is? Ignorance. Exactly. The real cause of one's suffering is ignorance. But we go to school, we go to college, we have been to university, we have even got PhD degree. So how can you say we are ignorant? So when we say ignorant in this context, it means spiritually ignorant. We are ignorant of our true nature. We are ignorant in the sense that we believe that we are this limited entity made up of a body, a mind, and an intellect. And because of that, we feel also limited. Now, when we feel limited, we will obviously want to look for happiness. Because in this limitation, we are feeling suffering, we are feeling sorrow. And nobody wants to feel the suffering. So we want to find ways to remove the suffering. So if you are trying to remove the suffering, then where will you look? I am the body. I can look with and perceive things with my five senses. So wherever five senses go, I will be looking for happiness. But this Mahatman, the wise man, who has purified his mind, has removed rajas, has removed tamas, has understood the cause of suffering is my ignorance, he will no longer be pursuing happiness in the outside world. He will no longer be looking for temporary medicines to take out his suffering. Instead, he is going to now devote his entire life to finding what? True freedom. True freedom. Not temporary freedom from dukkha. True freedom. Permanent freedom. So, from where will he find this? He will look in the Shastras. So, in the Shastras, when he looks, he doesn't just take what appeals to him. He doesn't take only what is comfortable for him. Unflinching faith in whatever the Shastras are saying. Unconditional faith in the Shastras he has, and therefore he studies the Shastras, and most important, he implements what is written in the Shastras. Now, he may take the Shastra's way of Gyan. He could also take the Shastra's way of Upasana. Either way, whichever way he goes, he does it faithfully, in the prescribed form, as it is supposed to be done. And this entire life is the life of the Mahatma. So what will be the reward of dedicating your entire life like this, fully with studies, fully with upasana? What will be the reward? Because nobody will do anything unless you tell me what is the reward. Itna sara karega to mere ko milega kya? That is the normal human way of thinking. So Bhagavan says, na punarjanma. You will not get the reward, you will not need to take rebirth again in this world. Okay. Now, this is the reward. Yeah, this is a reward. But for some people, this may not look like a reward at all. Why? I want to come back. I have so many things to experience. I have not gone to Antarctica. I have to still go and visit Japan one more time, and I still have to do this and that and so many things. The world is so beautiful. It is so enchanting. I'm so enamored by its beauty. I need to go and see the night lights in Iceland. I have to do this. I have to do that. This no punarjanma is not a reward. It's a punishment. Okay, I want to come back because I have to. So many more pleasures are there for me to experience. ठीक है? You want to come back? You can come back. If such a person will obviously not be spending their whole life dedicated to study or dedicated to upasana. Obviously, because there's no time, there's so much to see, there's so much to do, there's so much to experience. Where's the time for upasana and studies? So this doesn't apply to them at all. The thing is that they have not yet understood the cause of their suffering. And they have not understood that in this pursuit of pleasurable experiences, there is an inherent pain in there itself. That they are ready to experience that little bit of dukh for this little bit of sukh. So that's fine. It's okay, it's perfectly okay, because Sanatan Dharma doesn't force anything down anybody's throat. It is just like, suppose you have a beautiful dream. And in this beautiful dream, you are in this idyllic situation. You have all the luxuries of the world. You have all the happiness in the world. Good family and good money and good society and whatever you imagine to be the greatest thing in the world for you. But it's in your dream. It's in your dream. And then you wake up. But you want to be only in the dream. So is that dream real happiness, or is it something you have just imagined to be happiness? So that's okay if that is where one wants to experience in one's life. This is not they are not the Mahatmas that this shloka is talking about. But the upasak, who has purified his mind, who has managed through sadhana to remove the rajas, has managed to remove all the tamas. He is spending his life dedicated to his Ishtadev, to the Bhagwan who is dear to him. Then at the time of death, that Ishtadev will carry him to Brahmalok. Brahmalok. Brahmalok is just, you cannot say that there's on this particular cloud or something. It is a realm of experience. All the Bhagwans are merged in that Brahmalok itself. So whichever Ishtadev you have, you will be carried to Brahmalok. Okay? Now, there, once you have reached that realm, Bhagwan says, you never need to come back again to the world. Okay? This world is the world of duality. Pain, then pleasure is there. Dukh, then sukh is there. Birth and death is there. Time and space is there. But in Brahmalok, none of this. There is no duality over there. All right. So now the Mahatmas have realized, I would prefer this Brahmalok option. Okay? Because coming back Punarjanma in the world, there are some pitfalls. There are some inherent defects in this world. So what are those defects? That's what the Mahatmas have understood. The first thing, Dukkhalayam. Dukkhalayam. Alayam, Alayam means place. Dukh Alayam is the place of Dukh. This sansar is the place of Dukh. The basic cause of our Dukh is our ignorance of our true nature. Now, when we come to this realm of earth, we come with a appropriate equipment. What is that appropriate equipment? BMI. This body has to be worn like a spacesuit. If you go into space, you have to wear this spacesuit. So this is our spacesuit for earth. Body, then one mind and one intellect. Now we have to navigate this world with this limited equipment. This limited equipment can only see objects which are tangible, which are perceivable by the five senses. And with these objects, we are trying to find true happiness. But unfortunately, true happiness does not exist in any Vishay. No Vishay means object, Vishay means person, Vishay means sensation, Vishay means experience. Whatever you can experience with your entire body, mind or intellect or even imagine, all those things are called Vishay. So no Vishay has the ability to give us constant or true happiness. So our search is futile. Our search is in vain, because no matter, you can go on searching, but you want to find that, now no more need to search anymore, I have found happiness. Never going to happen if you are looking for it in the Vishayas. Therefore, we will die with unfulfilled wishes. We will be dying with unfulfilled desires. Those unfulfilled desires will come back to us in our next life. So lifetime after lifetime, we are taking birth again and again with unfulfilled desires. Then we take birth, we try to fulfill them, not possible, die again with them, get born again with them, again try, then again die. This chakkar is going on for lakhs and lakhs of lifetimes. Lakhs and lakhs of lifetimes. In the bargain, instead of fulfilling the wishes or fulfilling the desires, we may be creating more and more desires, or we may be continuously strengthening our desires, which we call vasanas. So the rishis always explain to us that Janma, from the time of conception to the time of death, this life is fraught with sorrow. It is fraught with pain. Why from Janma, from conception? So they say, even when you are in the womb, it is not a pleasant place to be. You are in a cramped position. You cannot stretch your legs. You cannot stretch your arms. You are surrounded by mucus. The fetus actually experiences tremendous distress in the womb. Then is waiting to come out. The birthing process itself is stressful, not only for the mother but also for the child. When the child is born, helpless, cannot get up, cannot eat by itself, cannot drink by itself, cannot move by itself. What does it do mostly? Cry, sorrow, suffering. It is the only way it can draw attention to itself. Give me some food, change my clothes, hold me. He is suffering over there. Child grows up a little bit bigger. He realizes, I want this, I want that, I want this, I want that, but everything I want, I don't get. Again, suffering. Right? Where at every stage, there is some form of suffering. There is some form of dukkha. When he gets something, he has to fear loss of it. He has to protect it. So even after getting, there is a fear. And when he gets it, he gets attached to it. When he gets attached to it and that thing gets taken away, again there is suffering. We get attached to our dear ones. When our dear ones are taken away from us, how much we suffer at the death of our dear ones. And our own death, forget our own death, even the thought of our own death causes us suffering. And actual death, if you are not trained your entire life to experience death correctly, that death experience is also one of suffering. So the Mahatmas have understood that this life is an abode of sorrow, dukkhalayam. Therefore, they don't want punarjanam. Therefore, they are spending their life devoted to their higher practices. What else? Is there any other reason why they don't want punarjanam? Yes, because they say life is ashashvatam. Ashashvatam. Shashvat, eternal. Ashashvatam, transient, temporary. Whatever happiness I will get in this life is just temporary. It will come and it will go. It will not last. Because all vishayas are in a state of constant change. We say, no, the only thing that is constant is change. And that is the nature of this entire world. Whatever which is obtainable, whatever is giving you pleasure, it's always going to be transient. You will get sukh, sukh will be followed by dukkha, and vice versa. So we are always living from fulfillment for a little while, then lack. Then again struggle, fulfill for a little while, then again lack. Then again struggle. And this is how we are spending the most precious gift that we have been given, and that is human birth. Our entire human birth is going in this futile exercise of feeling happy with something we got. Then it's gone away, so there's lack. Then again there's stress, do more, get more. Oh, I got, feel happy for a little while. And then the circle goes on and on. So, instead of our life becoming easy, our life is like we are trying to swim upstream. You know, if you swim downstream, you have the current, you have the gravity, you have the water taking you, flowing. But you are trying to swim upstream. That is why you are getting so much dukkha. Okay, so these are the two characteristics of life in sansar. What are they? Dukkhalayam, ashashvatam. The Mahatmas have recognized this. So they have turned away from worldly pursuit. Now if you turn away from worldly pursuit, it's not enough. To know the cause of your suffering is good, but it is not enough. Because if that's all you know, this is the cause of my suffering and all, then you'll commit suicide. That is why people commit suicide. Now this life is dukkhalayam, this life is ashashvatam, and this is all that there is in life. There is no need for me to continue this life. Either you go into depression or you end it. So this is not enough. The Mahatma says they know the cause of suffering is ignorance, but you have to also know the source of happiness. It's not enough to know the source of suffering, you also have to know the source of happiness. And they know that the source of happiness is connecting with the divine. See, if you do not know that the cause of my suffering, what is the cause of my suffering, and you do not know that this sansar itself is the cause of my suffering, this ignorance is the cause of my suffering, if I don't know that, then why would I even want to be liberated from it? Until and unless I know this, then only I will want to be liberated from it. If I think this sansar is a cause of my happiness, sansar is the cause of me getting so many beautiful things, I'll never want to get liberated. Then that fellow will say it like that, this is not a reward. I want to come again and again because I need to get this. In this life I have not got, next life I will get. Okay? So after knowing the source of my suffering, I also have to know the source of my true happiness. And he knows that the source of my true happiness is connecting with the divine. Now here is where different people at different levels of their spiritual journey will connect with the divine in different ways. So for some, they will connect with their Ishtadev, their God with whom, their Bhagwan with whom they feel the most intimate connection. They will pray to that God to protect. They will pray to that God for their wish fulfillment. They will pray to that God to guide them when they are in trouble. So that is one way of connecting with the divine. But the Mahatma, who has no more desires to be fulfilled, he knows very well that this all is just one big Maya. He may have a higher understanding of divinity. So for him, he has understood that true divinity is my own inner self. So he may connect with that inner self. So depending on which way that upasak or jnani feels most connected, he will either connect to the Ishtadev, Ishwar, or he will connect with his own Atma, his own higher self, his own true self. That choice of which higher power to connect to is left to the individual. Okay? And whatever we choose, so that is that importance of that sixth shloka. Whatever will be your last thought or whatever you want to connect to, that you will achieve. So the one who is connecting to the highest source will reach the highest perfection, which is called Sansiddhim Paramam. So this is a guarantee Bhagwan is giving us. See, every once in a while in the Gita, Bhagwan Krishna gives us one guarantee. So here also he is giving us one guarantee. You devote your life to me, capital M, me, and I will take care of you at the time of death. If you take Sharan in me, you will not need to take rebirth again in this world. And if you want to have rebirth in this world, obviously you are not going to dedicate your life to me. So that is a no-brainer. Those who will dedicate their life connected with the higher self within themselves, if they get self-realization, then they will attain Jivan Mukti. Jivan Mukti. Those who will connect with their Ishtadev, having spent their entire life in the prescribed form of Upasana, they will attain Krama Mukti. And either in Jivan Mukti or in Krama Mukti, Bhagwan is giving us the Ashwasan, the security, you will not need to come back in Punarjanma. You will be liberated. But there will be a little difference in the time frame, which we will come to in the next couple of shlokas. So often, people are afraid of death, and then death is nothing to be afraid of. And the goal is not to attain the state of deathlessness, not deathlessness. The goal should be to attain the state of no birthlessness, no birthness, no birth, no more birth. That should be. I don't want to have another birth. Death is just a state change of your residence. But death is nothing to be feared. It is just a change. But birth, again, will go take us back into this whole chakra of ignorance and futile waste of precious life. So, this is the great guarantee. Great souls who have attained the highest perfection. Now here, highest perfection will depend on Krama Mukti or Jivan Mukti. Of course, the highest perfection is Jivan Mukti. But for some people, it may be Krama Mukti. That liberty is given to us. They, having come to me, now what is this me? Capital M. It could be Absolute Brahma, Nirgun Brahma. It could also be Sagun Brahma, Ishwar, or your Ishtadev, depending on each one's tendency, capacity of belief. Okay? They will be no more subject to transitory rebirth. Clear here for this shloka? Let's go ahead now. Today's class is very short and simple because it's just about understanding a few things. That's it. Let's read 16. Brahma bhuvana loka punaravartinorjuna mamupetya tu kaunteya punarjanma na vidyate. Arjun, all the worlds from Brahma Loka downwards are liable to birth and rebirth. But, O son of Kunti, on attaining me, there is no rebirth. For while I am beyond time, regions like Brahmalok, being conditioned by time, are transitory. Let's take the meanings. Bhuvanaloka, all places where creatures are born. Brahma, including the world of Brahmadev. Punar avartino, are liable to birth and rebirth. Tu, but, however, Mam upetya, on attaining me, Mam upetya, on attaining me, na vidyate, there is no punarjanma. In this shloka, Bhagwan addresses Arjun with two names. One's with Arjun and once with Kaunteya. If you remember when we talked about Arjun earlier, we had discussed this name. It comes from Arjavam. Arjavam means straightforwardness, non-crookedness. So here by saying Arjun to him, he is trying to say Arjavam. You'll remember 16th Adhyay. Arjavam is one of the Daivik Gunas. So you have a Daivik Guna. You are straightforward. So you can understand what I'm trying to say. You have the capacity, you have the potential to understand what I'm going to say. You will not take a roundabout way in understanding. So that is Arjun. And then he says Kaunteya. Kaunteya means son of Kunti. Kunti is the paragon of purity. So by saying son of Kunti, you are also the son of someone who is so pure, so sattvic. So you are also sattvic. Now to be a Mahatma, you need to be pure. So what I'm going to tell you is achievable by you. Now in this shloka, who is going to get rebirth and who is going to get liberated in little bit more detail. Okay. Now, we said that having spent a pure life and doing all the recommendations by the Shastras, having connected with Bhagwan throughout their life, at the time of death, the thought of Bhagwan will be in your life, in your head, on your lips, and Bhagwan will come and take you to Brahmalok. We have already talked that, and that we call Krama Mukti. Don't forget, we are in the Adhyay's second trimester of the Adhyay's. 1 to 6 Adhyay was Karma Yoga. Then 7 to 12 is Bhakti Yoga. And 13 onwards is Jnana Yoga. So here Bhakti is being given a lot of importance. So Krama Mukti is being explained in more and more detail. Now he will go to Brahmalok. So what's going to happen in Brahmalok? In Brahmalok, what will happen is what he should have done in this Mrityulok only. In Brahmalok, he will have to study again. In Brahmalok, Brahmadev is going to give him Updesh. He has to get Atma Gyan in Brahmalok. So if you want to avoid all this study over here, where hardly any rules are put in Siva, you will go to Brahmalok, then you decide. Then you tell me how it is over there. Send me a message. Okay? So there you will have to study and you will have to attain Atma Gyan there. You will get Updesh over there. And you will have to do all that till the end of the Kalpa. At the time of Pralay, having attained Atma Gyan, then you will merge with Nirgun Brahma. Then also you do not have to return to Sansar. So in other words, what is being told to us is without Atma Gyan, you cannot attain liberation. Without Atma Gyan, you cannot merge with Brahma. And as we learnt last time, that in Krama Mukti you have all these different levels. So you may just get, Brahmalok in the Loka. You just get some visa to go and stay in Brahmalok. Then you will get the license to be Samipya, next to Bhagwan. Then you may get Sarupya, you will get the proximity, then Sayujya. So till that time you have not got the merging. But till you get the Atma Gyan there also, till that time you will not merge. But don't worry, because there you have trillions of years. Time is there. If this life is too short to get Atma Gyan, don't worry. In Brahmalok, many millions of years are there. At some stage at least, you will get it. Because suffering is not there. No suffering is there. Just time. Just time. So this system of gradual liberation, which we call Krama Mukti, happens after death. After death. This is all coming after death. But Bhagavan says, those who have not qualified to even reach Brahmalok, why they have not qualified? Because last thought at the time of death was not of Bhagavan. Why last thought was not of Bhagavan? Because during the lifetime also no thought of Bhagavan. That default setting was not made. So whatever is your default setting, that will only come at the time of death. So what will happen with these people? They will have to go to lower lokas, not Brahma Loka. They will have, and what are the lower lokas are coming in some subsequent shlokas. So I will not dwell on that right now. They will have to go to lower lokas. There they will have to spend some time. There I cannot guarantee that there is no suffering, Mr. Sanjay Menon. There will be some suffering, okay. Then after paying for that suffering and paying for that sukh and dukh and all, come back here, start the whole process again. Start the whole process again. It's like you spend 1 hour baking a cake, you put it in the oven, either the cake burnt or the cake flopped, you take it out, then you start baking it, making it all over again. Okay? So they will have to come back because all their unfulfilled vasanas they took with them. Then when they came back, they have come back with that boj of unfulfilled vasanas. Again, start, and how you know that same chakkar will go on. So that is A Brahma Bhuvana Loka Punar Avartino. They are going to have to come back again. Mamupetya tu kaunteya punar janma na vidyate. But those who have attained me, capital M, there is no rebirth. So there are 3 options being explained to us here. Right? One is the Brahmalok option, one is the lower lok option, and one is the Jivan Mukta option. Attain liberation during this lifetime itself. Okay? This lifetime you will get your self-realization. Prarabdha will continue. Till Prarabdha continues, the body, mind, equipment will continue. Once that Prarabdha is over, this drops, bodies, gross, subtle, causal, everything drops, liberation. So we call that Jivan Mukti, we also call that Kaivalya Mukti, and we also call that Sadhyo Mukti. And this me, which Bhagavan is putting over here, you know, you have the 3 options. Nirgun Brahma, Sagun Brahma, or some other altar of worship. The other altar of worship could be name, fame, pleasure, this, that and the other, for which you pray to the Bhagavan who gives you the fulfillment of those wishes. Clear? Which option you want, you decide. Let's do one more shloka, because it's just going to give me a little introduction to the following shlokas which will come next time. 17. Sahasra yuga paryantam aharyad brahmano viduhu ratrim yuga sahasrantam teho ratra vido janaha. Those yogis who know from realization Brahma's day as covering 1,000 Mahayugas and so his night as extending to another 1,000 Mahayugas know the reality about time. Very interesting, and you'll have a lot of trivial information to share with your friends. Vidu, those who know that. Aha, one day. Aha, one day. Brahmano, of Brahma. Brahmadev. Brahmadev being the creator of the universe. Those who know that one day of Brahmadev, Yata, which Sahasra Yuga Paryantam lasts 1,000 years. Those who know that one day of Brahmadev lasts 1,000 years. And Ratrim, another 1,000 years. They, Aho Ratra Vido Janaha. They are the true knowers of day and night. They are the true knowers of what time is. Aho Ratra Vido Janaha. Jana, knower, people. Aha, day. Ratra, night. Vido, know. They are the true knowers of day and night, or they are the true knowers of time. So now, little bit of a technical thing of what is time and what do we understand by time, and we will realize how limited our idea of time is. And it will also help us to understand that when we go to Brahmalok, how much time are we going to have to spend there? And will help you to understand also the following other lower lokas and all that. Have you realized that while we are in this life, in this space-time realm, time is only created by our thoughts. Think about it. Time is created by our thoughts. Only when we are thinking, we are aware of time. Right or wrong? When we are asleep, we are not conscious of time. We don't know anything about time. When we are asleep, we may be crossing thousands of years also. We'll go into the future, we'll go into the past. We have no concept of time. When we are meditating, deep meditation, we lose track of time. Even when we are engrossed in something beautiful or engrossed even in our work, deeply concentrating on, we lose track of time. Already lunchtime is over. Oh, already like that, right? So when our mind is, just thinking of hundreds of things, then the concept of time occurs for us. So human time is measured by day and night. For us, day starts when the sun appears, and night starts when the sun disappears. That is our concept of time, day and night. But that is only on earth. Now in other lokas, this concept of day and night does not occur itself. Time is not measured by the appearance or the disappearance of sun. So when we see of time in terms of universe, it's a very large scale. Time is on a very large scale. And because it's such a large scale, they have divided it into 4 yugas. So you know, we have Satyug, then we have Treta Yuga, then we have Dwapar Yuga, and then we have Kali Yuga. So right now we are in Kali Yuga, and it is pretty apparent also from whatever's going on these days. All the 4 yugas counted together makes one Mahayuga. Advance. Satyug is, if you have difficulty even in reading these numbers, Satyug lasted for 17,28,000 terrestrial years. In worldly counting, Satyug lasts every time for 17 lakh odd years. But in heavenly years, it is considered as 4,000. Treta Yuga, almost 13 lakh worldly years. To be more exact, 12,96,000 years counted on earth. 3,000 worldly years, heavenly years. Dwapar, 8,64,000. And Kali Yuga, 4,32,000 years. Dwapar, 864,000. Kali Yuga, 432,000. We are in Kali Yuga right now. 432,000. Now you add all these 4, which will make one Mahayuga. One Mahayuga comes to, oh my God, 43,20,000 years. One day of Brahmadev is 1,000 of these Mahayugas. And one night of Brahmadev is another 1,000 Mahayugas. So the lifespan of Brahmadev, I'm not a mathematician and I hope I have not made a mistake, I've done some research. Lifespan of Brahmadev, I believe, if you count it in number of years on earth, it's supposed to be 311,040,000,000,000 earth years. This is the lifespan of Brahmadev. Are you really interested? Okay. God alone knows. So, important thing is, you will be there for that time. That is the point. Instead of going into the numbers, understand, either you get it here, right now, in our 100 years of lives, or you wait for 311 trillion years. Okay? Whatever. Now we are seeing lifespan of Brahmadev. Lifespan means birth and death. So even though Brahmadev is that extremely evolved being who has been entrusted with the entire creation of the universe, at the end of his lifespan, he also has an end. Okay? Then Pralay, and after Pralay again one new cycle will start. Therefore, We have to use this time which has been given to us. The idea of putting this shloka here and for me to do all this mathematical thing which I have no inclination about, we have to use this time, otherwise I don't know who wants to wait, because whatever we are avoiding doing here, you are going to have to do there. And if this is, cumbersome to do here, you have to do for trillions of years there. Therefore, do it now. Do it. That's all I can say. Getting it? And the one who knows this, that this is the time for me to do it, I don't have to wait for Krama Mukti and all that. They are the true knowers of day and night. They are the true knowers of time. Means they understand what is this place where I am, where there is relative time. And what is this thing which is being offered to me, where I am in a timeless state. I am in eternity. I am in that state where I am merged with that Supreme Being. They know the importance of pursuing a life devoted to Jivan Mukti. We are devoting our life to God alone knows what. We may not even get Krama Mukti. Then you have to go to lower lokas. Then you have to come back. Then again you are spending 311 trillion years. Do you understand that? Either you spend 311 trillion years in Brahmalok, or you spend it going up and down in different lokas and back to earth, with all the suffering that entails. What is your goal? What do you want? Up to every individual. Up to every individual. So Bhagavan is giving us this, he's offering the information. Nobody is forced to do anything. Nobody compels you, do this. Only options are given and freedom has been given. Do as you please. After the 18th chapter is over, Bhagavan says, now do as you please. Good. So now that you know the options and you also know the consequences of those options, you can make an informed choice. Okay, and I'm going to leave it at that for today, because that's a lot of thinking required. These are the options. Examine your life, see what you're choosing, see what you require. If you're ready for the options, follow the path. Not ready, then change your path. Okay? So we'll end over here. Asato ma Satgamaya Tamaso ma Jyotirgamaya Mrityurma Amritam Gamaya. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om. Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Hari Om. Jai Gurudev.